All right. Thank you so much for being here. I get this question a lot. Law of attraction. If you could shed some light on that and how that goes together with us planning our lives, having a destiny. And if I choose something and another soul chooses another thing, and that was not part of the plan, how does that work together with destiny, free will, and law of attraction? It seems to be a bit contradicting. And I'm also curious, and I know there's a lot of questions, but I know we can handle it. Whether the law of attraction is really just a law in our solar system or in our sort of universe, and not a law in the higher realms. So just basically, if you could share how the law of attraction really works when it comes to our human incarnations.
Yes, there are many excellent questions in there. And if you need clarification as we go, please help yourself to interject. So we will say, you asked, we will start at the end, you ask, are other beings in the cosmos subject to this law? Well, we will tell you that this law is really about thought creating things. Yes. And so we will tell you that the entire universe and everything you experience was once a thought in the supreme infinite creator, in source God, in the heart of your mother, father, a thought. And thought created everything that you experience. Now, higher dimensional beings that are fully enlightened and dwell in higher frequencies, these beings understand and live in the reality that their thoughts are instantaneously manifested. In truth, they can be manifested even before the thought is complete. Now, there are those who experience this on the earth. There are those who ask Judah for a thing or a question, and they literally have the answer before they have finished formulating the question. And so there is a realm that exists, there are frequencies that exist, and where all questions cease. And everything that is experienced is simply a manifestation of what that soul wants, and it is instantaneous. Now, how does this apply to the human experience? Well, we will say this. You've heard this word duality, which is the belief that there is right and wrong, good and bad, left and right, beautiful and ugly. This is the realm of duality. Now, there are many interstellar societies and many higher frequency aspects of many millions and billions of these different societies and experiences, cultures in the unseen to you realm that do not have duality. So there is perfect peace there. There is perfect equanimity. There is perfect unity. There is a perfection of love and truth. There is no struggle between the right, left, good, bad, ugly, beautiful, all of those things. And many of you have had lifetimes in those places. Now, why here on earth? Here we have chosen the infinite supreme source creator has deemed that the experience of earth would be one of duality, so that you can know what you are not. Isn't it true that many times when you're making a decision, you don't know exactly what you want, but you do know what you don't want? Yes. For example, with a romantic partner, you might go on many dates, and in each one you learn something. You learn, this is what I don't want in a relationship. Yes. And as you learn what you don't want, then a dream is birthed in your heart of what you do want. And so you have all been, have signed up for this tour of duty, we will say, on the earth. It is not a duty, but an experience in order to to experience what it is you don't want, in order to find what you really are, what you do want. So law of attraction is you're wanting something, you're setting your attention, your focus, your energy towards something and away from another thing. And this is a game of duality. And it is important to awakening. When people awaken, many times they are in states of despair, sadness, fear, anger, frustration, feeling victimized by life. Life and the human experience has done this to me. And I am the victim of this experience, this upbringing, this way of thinking, this disease, and so on. And you want to explore this law of attraction because you want something to be different for you. You want to turn away from one thing and towards another. There is a power in turning away and turning towards, yes? And so you begin to practice this manifestation game, and you have some success. In truth, you always have 100% success in the manifestation game. The thing is, sometimes you're manifesting what you don't want on a conscious level rather than what you do want. Now, so why would this happen? This happens because on an unconscious level, there is some part or aspect of your being that still wants the old, yes? For example, this vessel was working with a doctor who was lovingly, compassionately wanting to help a patient who was suffering terribly with arthritis. And this doctor had done everything possible in a co-creation to help this precious woman manifest her healing, yes, to attract and manifest a healing. And it wasn't happening. Why? Well, there was a conscious part of the patient who wanted to be pain-free. But unconsciously, this precious one was raised with a religiously conditioned idea that to suffer is to be a good person. This was imprinted upon her by visions of the beautiful Christ hanging on the cross and suffering, and this Christ that she loved so much. And so she transferred to herself from this experience a deeply held belief that good people, the best people, suffer. And so she did not want to be a bad person. She wanted to be a good person like her beloved Christ. And so on an unconscious level, she embraced this suffering in her body. So these types of subconscious beliefs buried deep in the psyche, some of them are even imprints of the soul from other lifetimes, would cause what you want to be thwarted. What you want consciously can be thwarted by parts of you in the subconscious that are not in agreement. We call this split energies. So being enlightened and coming into a higher frequential state is to resolve these split energies and to bring all of who you are, all of your aspects and parts, all of your past life parts, all of your current life parts, your 1-year-old parts, 2-year-old parts, 3-year-old parts, 5-year-old parts, 25-year-old parts, into agreement with what you want. Now, you've also heard others in these spiritual circles say, well, just drop all of that and just be, and just accept what is. This is where the confusion comes, yes?
Often, yes.
So what you find is, as you become accept the truth, you are always creating everything in your experience. And yes, also co-creating with others, but those others are also a mirror reflection of you. So together we are all creating everything that is happening. Are you personally responsible for everything happening on the earth? Of course not. But collectively, we are responsible as a collective consciousness. And so how do you move from this law of attraction, thinking, manifesting what I want, to this other higher truth, receiving all that is as being exactly what it should be? Yes. And so this is a natural occurrence that will happen as you grow in your level of consciousness, as you master manifesting your own reality through your thoughts and emotions, mastery over your thoughts, mastery of your emotions, learning to know what is coming from, what the fruit has a root. We say this very often, all fruit has a root, you see. So if you see yourself as a tree, and a fruit tree, and if there is consistently bad, rotten fruit on a certain branch, knowing that there must be something in the root system that is giving way to this, the root system being your subconscious mind. So learning how to find the fruit in your current now experience that you don't want, trace it back to the root, heal it on the subconscious level, clear it from the entire storyline of your soul. And in this way, being a master of all of your soul. And there, in this mastery, then there becomes a willingness to release the law of attraction. There's really, in other words, you outgrow it. You outgrow it. And you live in such a high vibrational state that nothing comes to you that is in disharmony. And if something comes to you that is disharmonious in another person, place, thing, or idea, you then have the level of mastery to transmute that into a higher frequency. But ultimately, there is a surrender to Source, Creator, God, which is born from a deep level of trust. Yes, that all things are working together for the good of you and of all.
To watch the full video, click the link below, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel.